All right, friends, we got the post. Windows is installed. It appears to be operational enough. I haven't installed CPU Z and stuff to do like final checks, but it's pretty close. Just had to get on my flow plane board to make sure, whatever it's called, fluid stance. Make sure I can see the shot. Okay, so at this point, we're kind of, it's gonna feel kind of cosmetic because it basically is, but we're gonna do Strimer cables, and then we're just gonna run through, I probably will do this off camera. But after I get those in, I'm gonna run through diagnostics on the computer, make sure everything is functioning as it should, and then I will do cable managing. So those things are gonna take some time. I don't know, maybe we'll just do them all on scene. Gotta find the dongle for the mouse. It's like it's somewhere around here, but I haven't found it yet. There it is. And there are the weights too. I might put those in the mouse downstairs. Not quite sure yet. Something that I fell in love with is this. Oh my gosh. This is why I can't have nice things. Just please stop throwing yourself at the mercy of the floor. All right. Oh, that's exciting. Just in case you have to reinstall Windows, we know that's a working copy. Now the pump and all of the attached fans are glowing red. I haven't installed IQ yet, so I don't know if that's just like default. To my knowledge, that's just usually supposed to happen when something is, when it's like overheating, but I know that the fluid temp was like 25 the whole time, so I don't know. Just gonna slot this temp probe up here so we don't forget about it, but also so it's out of the way. Okay, so first things first today. We're just gonna, this is kind of bad angling, but we're just gonna pop all these off. Which, you know, Asus makes these all super accessible, so it's gonna be really easy. Hopefully you can detect my sarcasm. And then basically what I'm gonna do here is, oh my gosh, just go for the Strimer 8-pin plus, and we're just gonna attach that on the front side. Connector cables, hub. Hope that this controls two, so I don't want to have to use like two different hubs. We're already hubbed out. Thank you for your purchase. It's kind of a nice slider. It's on a nice gauge cardstock. Feel like a quality customer. Really wearing an ESD wrist strap. I'm working with the graphics card. Been like walking around my house shocking things all the time the last couple of days. Then I go, glad that wasn't my motherboard. Glad that wasn't my PC. Okay. Like a bunch of diagrams. First, check whether the direction of the 8-pin cable is consistent with the installed graphics card. If it does not, change the direction of the connector first. Okay. Alright, so the braided cabling is on the underside, the LEDs are on the top side. We just want to make sure, where possible, that the LEDs are shown, and should always be possible, so. No, 8 times 3 is 24, and I appreciate that you can use 24 pin braided cabling, or the like braid ties for these, but man, they braid these up so neatly. Makes me feel like a schlub. Okay, so this will go inside of the case. It will attach to this controller. But we might just go directly into the LED slots on the IQ controller. Okay, so I think basically what we want to do here is just plug these all in. Probably into the graphics card. Looks like we're gonna have to reverse orient all of this. So, steps to change the direction of the connector. Rotate 180 degrees. After opening the tenon cover and buckle, the 8-pin cable can be separated from the light bar. Don't know what that means. Infer that this is the tenon cable. Wait, do I have to like re-braid all of these? I guess it's one of those things. It's like I wish you just wouldn't even give it to me finished. We're sure it's wrong. Are you sure we can't make that? Sure we can't make it work? Okay, well. Okay, we're looking at the underside. Okay, then after flipping the tenon cover and buckle away from the 8-pin, pay attention to the direction of the push. These are not written by someone who speaks fluent English. Can pop these out easily enough, so we'll just start with that. The only thing I don't know is how to remove the looks like these then just unclip. Guessing the 24 pin is not going to be nearly as problematic because we can just invert it. But with these, you don't really have a choice. Okay, we've removed everything except for these ones. How they like slide off. Okay. All right, these pull down. I think that's what it was meaning by tenon cable can be rotated. Alright, then we just want to pull these the rest of the way off and just put this on the underside. Oh. Careful there, buckaroo. Definitely think you want to pre-braid these. Okay, let's just make sure we have this right. This goes on like that, which means we want the LCD to be on this side. And we want to make sure that this is lined up with this side. That way all of that cabling is going back into the case. Oh, and then you're just going to kind of lose your mind a little bit here as you get each and every cable slotted into the appropriate channel. My heart immediately goes to the line worker who does this every day for their job on thousands upon thousands of these. You are a saint. You are the people's hero. Gamers are nothing to you. Okay, yeah, and then the tough thing here is you got to make sure that you're flush with the bottom cables, and then that the top ones are not slotted in because they don't go in yet. They go into the second level. Trying to get you guys as good of an angle as I can on this, but this is one of those things that's like in my heart. I knew before I started doing it, yeah, that's gonna take a while. I don't know why. I'm just plugging in some cables, but I was right. Granted, like, that's not like I have any kind of foresight or crazy intuition, because all the time I think stuff and then it doesn't, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't so bad. I also think, oh, that won't be so bad, and then it turns out horrible. 2 days ago, as I was installing all of the TVs in my house, that happened over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Alright, so we want to make sure clip is up. And we just repeat the process. It's just easiest to just kind of grab the end cable here. This feels a lot easier to do onto like a tabletop surface. So I would recommend that. Don't do it trying to show the camera. Just gonna slide this up ever so slightly. I want more slack. Truth be told, I probably want like equal slack. I feel like sliding these back and forth is a little bit of work, but it's not impossible by any means. Like snagged on something that's gonna. Come on. But you definitely want these to be like lined up with each other, you know? On the same plane. So if I'm remembering back to my junior high geometry classes. Oh, it's because that's the 6-pin connector on the other side. So just kind of get these flush. Once they're aligned, you can kind of just press them in. They go in. Not too much fuss at that point. Honestly, you could probably do 2 at a time here. We'll give that a shot. Yeah, I don't know that I'd go more than 2 at a time, but you can definitely do 2 at a time. They are a little squirrely. Okay, clip. clips up. Okay, now that we have it somewhat attached, as soon as I'm done running these, before I put on the next layer, I'm just going to double check.
Is that like think twice, bend once, think twice,
measure twice, cut once kind of thing? That's the... Oh no! It's like, why will that not go in? Because there's no route for it to go. Okay, I'm gonna try to just line up all four. See where that gets us. I think maybe if I get both of the ends set up on all four, then I can just press the cabling in along the length. That worked out pretty well. Man, these are so sexy. Like, I honestly would just get this, like, not, if they made this in like a non-LED silicon version. I would be jiggy with that. Okay, let's go down, bends down and around. If I have the right angle on it, it's just gonna be a little bit of a chore and getting these all in properly, but should be able to do it. Okay, then if we remember, these go in and they slide in. I'm gonna guess there's like a cutout on one side of it. Looks like, if you look really closely here, it's like a little bit, it doesn't go all the way to end on one side. I think that is the part that goes into the other piece, because the channel doesn't go all the way through. That way it can't just like slide up and through it, if that makes sense. Seemed to work out correctly. My watch was recording like 2 minutes of that conversation with myself, and it's not a conversation really if no one's talking to me, I guess. Shh, you be quiet. No, you. Okay, that's one. Just clip on pretty easily. And this part I think should be really easy because I'm not trying to distinguish top and bottom cables. I'm not trying, they're already pre-routed down below, so I think you just like line them all up here. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Oh, this is nice. This is like such like, I would watch ASMR of this. It's just like such satisfying clicks. Oh, looks like we got. So like we had a naughty boy there. Or girl, hashtag feminism. Okay. Doesn't feel like these have like enough room. You know what I mean? Like they kind of all bow out. It doesn't really matter because those are the ones that go inside the case. I think it really is made to just be friendly to these ones. And as always with cable managing, I think the trick is to just go ahead and insert these. These are all different. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull those out. I'm going to try to like push these in and pull on them at the same time, and maybe that'll work, but they're all slightly different. Honestly, the longer one is on the far side, so that might actually benefit us here.
with these, it looks like the best option here is to just line up all 24 of them. This is because of how tightly they're braided. I'm trying to bend these ones up to see, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get them in afterward. We all know from last time how insecure everything is on the other side. So I was hesitating just going for this. So. Let's see if we can tuck away this Wi-Fi cable here a little bit. And the antenna is quite magnetic. It's pretty convenient. Okay. Not these. Let's just reinsert them. I'm like, wow, these have way more flex than I thought they did. Nope. Noise. Deception. Okay, we have one in. You definitely gotta do this thing though. You have to be able to see whether or not these are slotted in or not. We have connection. Okay, now since these are already all up over here, you know, I would agree with the sentiment immediately from a lot of posters in the community that these are not the easiest to bend. But if we're all being honest with each other, did you want them to be easy to bend LEDs? Like, no, you definitely want those diffusers on there, and the diffusers need to be a bit rigid in order to do their job. So, I mean, to be good diffusers, you get like paper, I guess. One. I love how there are basically no directions out of what we just did. Just tells you how to like redo the cable, and then it tells you where you can. Don't push the cable header. Press the cable header to unplug the cable. Okay. I think we need a SATA connector. I'm hoping I can plug into the same remote. Looks like we can do two. Connect PCIe 8-pin power cable light module to PCIe 8-pin ATX. Yep. Okay, we're good. So on the top side, there are two different options. We're just gonna go ahead and plug both of those in there. It's pretty awesome. And I think if you didn't care about the RGB elements for this, I still think going for like a cable mod that gets you that clean aesthetic is probably still worthwhile. But you know, that's all. This is very, very, very much a cosmetic, unnecessary set of choices. Yeah, like wiggling, but it's so tight on there. All right. Let us all hope and pray. Please, 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 please. Keep facing the right direction. And I have watched several videos of people getting these to work in IQ. We'll have to wait to see if we're lucky enough for that. Okay, this goes back. I think we're good here. Yes, the clip is on the rear side. But as the other one, we're just going to go ahead and insert first. I love jamming 24 pins into motherboards. So I think that's. I think we're good. It's really hard to tell if we're being honest. I'm just going to insert that connector through so I can find it pretty easily later. Which is apparently the wrong choice. Clip, clip. Didn't get that satisfying clip when I clipped into the motherboard. So that's a little worrisome, disheartening. I don't know, use your favorite words there. I think we'll be okay. Oh, fiddling with the GPU. Just knocked off the little silicon holder bracket piece, however you want to describe that, for the CPU holder. Okay, I think we're gonna go with messiest, most difficult first. There are other cables in this. They don't want to be friends with each other. I'm trying not to yank out the shields, but it is difficult. Okay, it's one through. I'll try to cinch these other ones up with like equal force and pressure. I just kind of want to like worry about this one later, but don't want it getting lost on the other sides. And this has been cable managed pretty well. Psych. I have horrid cable management going on right now, but I don't want to do any of it till I feel reasonably certain that the computer is functioning as intended, as promised. Okay, just need these all through the slot. Go ahead and just release that. Don't want to pull off though. All right, I think we're through here. All right, yes. The braid is through. We're gonna have to clean all of that up, but I want to get this 24-pin ATX cable through first. Since we're almost certainly going to have to do the same thing This one's a little cleaner. But yeah, pretty similar issues. Almost. I think that's good enough. That's pretty bent up in here. But it lines up almost exactly where I want it. It's a little bit. I'm probably not going to do anything about it, but I will say the one thing I'm kind of immediately regretting, frustrated about, you describe that however you want, is that I wish I would have tightened the braiding on the graphics card totally taut, but that braiding is still looking good, good-ish. Somehow everything from this middle one is just skiwampus though. Just really, really bent up in here. Everything kind of got pulled over. Come on. Start with the far one first and then work our way backwards, I guess. Oh, this is, I don't know, nightmarish is the right word, but this is problematic. Come on. There we go. And make sure you clamp these down really well, especially before you bend the cables. I think if you're doing tight turns like I just did, you're inevitably going to have some issues. So I suppose, even though I kind of regret it, I think it probably wouldn't have worked very well with this kind of tight bend that I have going on here otherwise. So. Okay. Holy crapaloni. This is I want to say unworkable, but that feels kind of intense to say, but it feels pretty accurate. Holy crap. Let's just see if we can get these on and working. I thought we had one more SATA connector in here. 1, 2, 3. There is one last one. Okay, I think we can put 2 in and then just do 1 cable out. Okay. let's just try to clean this a little bit here. This is gonna be way easier to do when we are actively cable managing this, but just want it like partially on the rail. I'm really hesitant to cable manage anything until we know that everything's working. Like I do not want to have to like unplug everything, unplug, like snip all of the cable ties and zip ties and all those things when I know that they're is an increased chance of things not working just because this is newer tech with 12th gen, DDR5, all that stuff. Being early adopters always a riot. So. Okay. Let's get this ready. This is the dinkiest little connector. Okay. Do not give you a ton of room with these. All those are gonna have to go down underneath. There. Those out of the way. Temperature probes are cute ideas. I think if I was to do this over again, I would just say not use the temperature probes. They accomplish nothing for you in this stage of the build. So just to connect them last. You don't need them. You do not need them right away, Sam. I am. Okay, this is the ATX, which goes on the controller. Here. Should slide right in there. It's something funky, delicious. There it goes. Don't do anything to tell you about, like, there is a white wire on here and they're not like, oh, that goes oriented this direction. I know you're here. Just hidden behind a maze of wiring. Just see if it will even go in the other way. Nope. Okay. And oddly, it lists these as VGA and MV. Not sure why it does that. I'm not sure why it can't just say PCIe and ATX, but. Earbud insects before Lee, their glorious colors and things. I think maybe we might be able to slot these through here, then wrap them down and around. I don't know, it's gonna take some work. Okay, so now white housing goes into the far one. This is the LED signal output. Should go 3 pins to 4 pins. I will have to dig those up somewhere. Please also do all of your stuff at the same time. Okay, I think this is it. Like super convenient to find. right away. There's like a very distinct 3-pin with that separation between them. So I think that this is the right one. Let's just make sure that this slots in here. I think this might just be like an extender adapter thing too. Yeah, it does not want to work there. Jostle. Okay, now I just have to find like the LED connector. Alright, while we get that set up though, getting some length off that, which is helpful at least. Connect to motherboard 5-volt ARGB 3-pin header. And this one goes to SATA power. That adapter might have been actually for the motherboard. No, this is definitely for the Corsair. Because it's like a separated 3-pin to more tight 3-pin. Oh, this has been exciting, as long as I interpret exciting loosely. I think this is my old motherboard satchel. Okay, yeah, this doesn't have any of this stuff I need. Lucky to find that blue one, like right on top. These seem to be the splitters, and it looks like we have some adapters or other extenders. Should go for LED 1, slotted, and slotted. I think so. Maybe not. No. I'm gonna have to do some research here for a second. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, there's a little bit of work here to do, and I gotta do some other projects unassociated with this. So thank you guys for watching this one. That's how you get the Leon Lee cables at least inserted into your computer. Until next time, good luck out there, have some fun, keep on building. Bye for now.